pick your mans up.
And just cause people used to come through shooting at us every day. And this block, words can't even explain, man. Can't even explain.
Hey man, Blue School Valley 05 way on money. Young Money, man, they in the building.
600 boy LA, man, LA Capone, man, get it to him, man. OC2 boys, man. Team
Mine's number 9, man, number 9 shooter, you hear me?
Hey, bitch, this little bitch, yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you, hey, I am Brick Squad. Yeah, Brick Squad, boy, what the fuck is you talking about, boy?
You have to be willing to die or go to jail for 100 years if that's the lane that you're stepping in. You have to understand that whether you 15, 16, you got to think like a man, you know what I'm saying?
So don't be in it. Oh, you're not? Why does everybody say you're only 16 years old?
They say what they want to say.
How old
How old are you?
300.
The story of L.A. Capone and the Kebbeh brothers. In the early 2000s, Leonard Anderson, also known as L.A. Capone, moved to Atlanta to live with his father. A big part of Leonard's move was because his mother wanted him out of the violence in Chicago. Leonard was one of the best students in his class when he attended school in Atlanta. At school he also became close friends with famous rapper Lil Yachty, who today has close contact with Leonard's brother. He also got to know OMG Girls, who was a rap group that consisted of rapper Lil Wayne's daughter and rapper T.I.'s daughter. After a time in Atlanta, Leonard moved back to Chicago, where he met the guys who would later become members of the gang 600, just like him. Around 2009, he started to tote his first guns, and around 2010, he was basically a full-on gang member. He fought almost every day, robbed people, but did not shoot at people just yet. LA often used to fight FBG Buddha. LA, Tay600 and Lil D would also often get into altercations with Tuka and Tutu. Used to stay catching Tuka and Tutu lacking. Around 2011, Leonard started rapping, but didn't take it seriously until later in 2012. When his songs started to make numbers, people started to notice him. T.I. and even artists like Bruno Mars and Lupe Fiasco took interest in him, and Rondo number 9. Now back to the story. The Kebbeh brothers. Omar and Muhammad were two brothers, who first lived in Gambia but later moved to Chicago for a better life. The family lived in Chicago for about 20 years without any major problems. However, around 2010 or 2011, both brothers began to hang out and get affiliated with Bun World, a set of gangster disciples that are known to be cliqued up with Mob, and around that time things started to really heat up between Mob and 600. Omar and Muhammad also had an older brother who confirmed that both his younger brothers were affiliated with the GDs. D-Thang, who was one of the founders of 600, was constantly lurking and sliding on Mob. He shot at them several times. Bebe, MOB, tried to kill D-Thang several times. Both sets had numerous shootouts with each other. It all escalated when Baldy, 600, was killed, followed by Lil Scrap killing Lil Steve, 600. And of course, with that beef getting hotter, 600, as well as Front Street, knew the faces of Omar and Muhammad already. Omar was also called Oti, and Muhammad was called Mew Money. When Omar got old enough and was able to move around on his own, he moved to E-Spot, and started repping them. But to L.A. Capone, 600 and Front Street, he was not E-Spot. They'd forever associated him and his brother with the guys who killed Baldy and Lil Steve. Eventually, in early 2012, L.A. Capone and Omar, two kids whose parents tried to give them better lives, ended up bumping heads, ending with L.A. Capone killing him. L.A. was out lurking through Mob and Von World's territory trying to score for Lil Steve and Baldy. Not because he thought Omar killed Baldy, that many think. The whole 600 already knew who killed Baldy, Mob Domo, or Mob Cleon, or both. 600 were out looking for Domo, Cleon and Scrap every day, or whoever else they could find. LA simply was out looking to score for Baldy and Lil Steve. He caught Omar lacking and LA took the opportunity to score. Lil Scrap, who was the one who actually killed Lil Steve. LA Capone was out looking for him several times, but Lil Scrap ended up getting arrested for Lil Steve's murder, but he eventually beat the case. Once he got out, LA had already stopped shooting guns and took rap more serious instead. However, Dada, Front Street, one of LA's best friends, promised to kill Scrap for him. He actually ended up shooting Scrap one of the 2 times he had been shot. Scrap survived. Killa Ki ended up shooting Dada for that, who also survived. Towards the end of 2012, after Muhammad likely had something to do with a few shootings that took place on Front Street, he ended up getting killed by Nino and Quono from Front Street. They walked up to him and shot him several times. The loss of Omar and Muhammad made their parents and older brother to pack up and leave Chicago and went back to Gambia, the same place they leave to get a better life. This is a very sad story. Rest in peace to the Kebbeh brothers and Leonard Anderson, as well as everyone else I mentioned in the story, who have fallen victim to the gang violence. I want to send my condolences to the families who have been affected, not least the Kebbeh family who lost their 2 sons.